Hey, hello everyone. This is Sean, and I'm commemorating this very special day for those who are into astrology, such as myself. And today marks the beginning of a new era in collective humanity, and that is the arrival of Neptune in Aries. Yes, I'm quite excited for Neptune's arrival into the fiery sign, although I do definitely have concerns about it as well. And I'll share those with you as this live stream progresses. And here, I'm just going to take a moment to make myself adjusted. There we go. Hi, everybody. And welcome to my live stream. And I thank every one of my subscribers who has loyally followed me for the past few years. I know I have very diverse interests, and astrology is one of them. And these are very powerful and momentous times that we're living in right now, with so much going on in the world and what is about to happen in the near future with the rise of artificial intelligence, humanoid robots coming onto the scene. It's a lot to anticipate, and I hope that we as a species are able to successfully navigate our way through what is in store for us. Although there is some hope up in the cosmos up there with Pluto in Aquarius that is going to make a sextile to Neptune later this year, and as well as Uranus, which is going into Gemini in July. And that will not only form a sextile with Neptune, but will also make a trine aspect to Pluto. And yes, there will be a new cry for freedom, a new cry for self-expression, with Aries being such an individualistic sign. Yeah. So let's get right to it. Now, we're just coming out of the Neptune in Pisces era, although we're not totally finished with it yet. Neptune will retrograde back into Pisces in October later this year for one final journey, and it will stay there and go direct and move back into Aries for good in January of 2026. And yeah, it's a lot to reflect upon. Well, Neptune was in Pisces. For those who don't know, who aren't aware, Neptune is the planet of illusion, delusion, fantasy, deception, brain fog, confusion, the state of delirium. There, over the past 14 years, there has been a big spiritual awakening within humanity. But there has also been a lot of confusion and deception. Neptune entered the watery sign of Pisces back in 2011. And since then, we saw the meteoric rise of social media. And, social media has that utopian ideal of uniting all of us into one collective family. But as you know, there is freedom of speech within that. So not only has there been stronger cohesion amongst people as a whole, but it has also created a rift. People expressing their views so openly, and this has inadvertently led to misinformation, miscommunication, deception. While Neptune was in Pisces, we had the rise of these spiritual teachers. There's one spiritual teacher who I still follow. His name is Leo Gura, and the name of his channel is actualize.org. And Russell Brand, Sadhguru, this gentleman, Alan Watts, he was a prominent spiritual teacher in the later half of the 20th century, although his teachings are really beginning to gain momentum amongst more and more people in the world. So there has been a lot of deception, but now that Neptune is finally in Aries, the emphasis is not so much on uniting humanity as a whole, but it's more of an individuality, standing up for one's own interests. As of now, we are starting to witness the resurgence of nationalism, particularly in the United States. And it's interesting because the last time Neptune was in Aries was between the years 1865 and 1875. And the most infamous occurrence during that period. Oh, sorry, I just got a comment here. Last night I woke up multiple times and had a different dream each time I fell back asleep. Taurus rising. Wow. You know what? Thank you for your comments, and I will share a certain aspect of my personal life that happened last night, just as I was sleeping, and I dreamt that I was in this apartment with other people, and it looked as if there was a king, a medieval king, who was murdered by one of the guests, and somehow the guilt was placed on me. So I fled the scene, and my most intuitive guess would be that that symbolized the end of the Neptune in Pisces era and the beginning of Neptune in Aries. You have that king figurehead. Kings are supposed to be very brave, very heroic, very individualistic, and it was the passing of one era to another. No, that's just a dream. Yeah. Anyways, as I was mentioning before, the American Civil War took place the last time Neptune was in Aries, and that was a very moralistic crusade. The North, under President Abraham Lincoln, wanted to free the South, the southern states that succeeded from the Union, and the Confederate States highly valued slavery, and it was a war of emancipation to bring freedom to the slaves, and that was ultimately achieved. And however, that came at quite a price of at the expense of Abraham Lincoln, who was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth in 1865, just weeks after the Civil War ended. So, yeah. And during the last Neptune and Pisces transit, there was also the Franco-Prussian War between France and Germany. And that lasted from 1870 to 1871. France had the ideals of expanding her empire throughout Europe with enlightened ideals, but due to severe miscalculations, Germany was able to subdue France and managed to reach the outskirts of Paris within weeks. And so, yeah. During Neptune Aries, we can expect to see continue to see a rise of spirituality, much more so than while Neptune was in Pisces. And we're going to witness a lot of these, far-right movements gain more momentum. Unfortunately, that's the dark side to this transit, the rise of extremist groups, particularly within the United States. As I talk about this, we're now engaged in a tariff war between Canada and the United States. In Canada, by the way, and we are witnessing the rise of a nationalism within this country too, with slogans such as "elbows up" or "I am Canadian" or "Canada is not for sale" and "not the 51st state." And the current president, Donald Trump, really wants to make Canada the 51st state. It's a long shot from happening, but these are the kind of fantasies I think these world leaders will have during the next 14 years, between 2025 and 2039. We'll see more authoritarian governments. Unfortunately, democracy will be under threat. But after doing a little research, I do believe there is a glimmer of hope with those transits that I was mentioning earlier, Pluto trine Uranus and Uranus sextile Neptune and Pluto sextile Neptune. Basically, what those symbolizes, there is going to be a cry for greater freedom and communication amongst people from all walks of life. And Pluto in Aquarius being an air sign, and Uranus in Gemini being an air sign as well. So you have that trine between air signs. So there will be greater communication with the help of technological advancement, enhanced brought about by Uranus in Gemini, and Pluto in Aquarius will continue to see the refinement of artificial intelligence. Humanoid robots will gain much more sophistication. They will definitely impact how we live and work. And depending on who you are, this may in all likelihood constitute an existential threat to what it means to be human. Because as these robots replace our jobs, as we face the prospect of a singularity within the next few years, as projected by the renowned software engineer and scientist Ray Kurzweil. He predicted singularity in as early as 2029, where artificial intelligence exceeds the cognitive ability of the average human. And yeah, that if his predictions are right, if they are correct, that will occur while Neptune is transiting through Aries. Yeah, so Neptune in Aries, it is a new beginning for humanity as a whole, and Neptune brings about an idealistic fantasy of grandeur. One can have very unrealistic ambitions, visions about themselves under heavy Neptune influence. And during the Neptune in Aries transit, we'll witness a surge of the masculine spirit, hypermasculinity. I think the prelude to that we saw with Donald Trump's inaugurational speech back in January, how this was going to be a new golden age for America, and how he changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and his ambitions for taking ownership of the Panama Canal, Canada, as well as Greenland. There will be a newfound momentum of imperialism. I think China will try to gain further control of Taiwan one way or another, and Russia will try to subdue Ukraine into submission. Although it seems as if peace talks are on the horizon as I record this, but I think Putin wants to execute his ambitions. Now, I know I'm getting a lot into politics. However, if one studies astrology, they'll discover that the outer planets, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, because they move so slow in the solar system, it takes a long time for them, relatively speaking, to make one complete cycle around the sun. And in Neptune's case, it's 165 years. So Neptune will basically be in Aries for 14 years. That's how long Neptune spends in each zodiac sign, approximately. So there's be very interesting times. I think during this Neptune in Aries transit, we'll witness higher truths being revealed. Now, I will confess to you that in some of my videos, I use a script, and as I'm making this live presentation to you, I'm just speaking off the top of my head. I'm just speaking from the heart, in which I feel it's appropriate for this occasion. That's the thing with social media. You don't fully notice how one of these influencers is really like. That's just the tip of the iceberg. But I try to stay authentic as possible. Um, yeah, but Neptune can be an influence on somebody who believes that this influencer is just a woo-woo, airy-fairy, because Neptune also rules cinema and theater and film. It only film and cinema uh, only portray the best ideals of a certain character or hero. And speaking of heroes, Neptune in Aries, it'll be a period of idealizing the hero archetype. How we think of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, or She-Ra. He-Man! Now I have to admit, my high school nickname was He-Man. Uh, and yeah, but we'll see a resurgence of the heroic ideals, particularly through nationalism and political cartoons. The bald eagle in the United States and Uncle Sam will regain a resurgence in popularity, I think. And here in Canada, we'll start to notice more of the idealistic Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP officer in traditional dress, giving his salute, showing Canadian pride. Or this one heroine, her name was Laura Secord. And I think He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Sorry, I just had to get that out. But anyway, Laura Secord, she is a very influential figure in Canadian history. And if it wasn't for her actions that she took to stop the American invasion of Canada during the War of 1812, I don't think there would be a Canadian nation to speak of to begin with. I think Canada as we know it right now would not exist. It would just be an extension of the United States. Her story is that she was acting as a spy, and she overheard this conversation between two American generals who were situated. It was now the present day province of Ontario, and she overheard the battle plans, and instantly, for hours and hours and hours, she sprinted through the dense, thick forest, getting in contact with British generals. Well, Canada was a British colony at the time, and the British commanders stationed around Hamilton, Ontario, Stony Creek, were notified by Secord of the impending attack by the Americans. And so the Americans planned to attack the settlements along Lake Ontario, which is now the city of Hamilton. And the American and British or Canadian forces, they intertwined in the city of Stony Creek. And that's where the famous Battle of Stony Creek took place in the year 1813. And the Canadians or British led, they engaged in a surprise attack on the American encampment, and they captured American generals. And it's because of Laura Secor's actions that kept the Americans from overrunning what was then known as Upper Canada, but now it's referred to as Ontario. So I'll have to give my historical counterpart, Laura Secord, my thanks and my military salute. Thank you, Laura Secord. And in her honor, we have the Laura Secord chocolate confectionaries in her name throughout Canada, throughout shopping malls. And I have had a few Laura Secord chocolates in my life, and they were quite good. I only wish they had a vegan selection, so I would visit their store more often, because I prefer to consume vegan chocolate. But anyway, that's just one story. And yeah, so I think Neptune is in the Aries, we'll come across more. Oh. Yeah. I think we'll assert ourselves more independently. I think a lot of us during Neptune in Aries will engage in the entrepreneurial spirit. Traditional economic structures are collapsing, and with the rise of social media, more and more of us will start our own YouTube channels, our own TikTok, Instagram, and that's how we'll generate revenue for ourselves. And yeah, a lot is changing. And Aries, well, you make some more. Yes, very excellent point. Aries is the sign of war, of warfare, and that's going to be a very dark aspect of Neptune in Aries, especially with the rise of AI and humanoid robots. I think a lot of scientists and engineers will perfect weaponry, particularly humanoid robots. They'll become so advanced that militaries around the world will purchase them en masse and replace human soldiers. So robots can settle differences between warring nations. Yeah, I think you'll actually begin to see humanoid regiments, humanoid robot regiments, platoons, even companies being created throughout armies, and fighter jets could reach the point where they're completely unmanned. Bombers will have that capability as well. We'll see much smarter drones being used. Yeah, 14 years is indeed a long time. Y'all, I have always predicted that World War III would commence while Neptune was in Aries, but there's a lot of civil unrest taking place in the United States right now. I think there could be a second civil war or another revolution tantamount to the American Revolution and the French Revolution. There is such a split in American society right now, where so many people are angry at what the federal government and the presidents have done to cause that rift. Um, Unspeakable acts of what Elon Musk did. I won't get into the thick of it, but yeah, I think these leaders in Washington will become more and more authoritarian and too idealistic about the aggrandizing when Neptune is bestows a gift. Yeah, I totally agree with that. When Neptune leaves a sign, it bestows a certain gift. And with Neptune coming out of Pisces, we're leaving an era of confusion and delusion and misinformation. And I think with Neptune in Aries, particularly with the coming influence of Uranus in Gemini in July, I think there are going to be a better safeguards in place to prevent misinformation from being broadcasted and published. I think the algorithms could be programmed to more easily detect misinformation that's being delivered in a certain YouTube video, and maybe the algorithm can automatically delete a certain video that conveys too much confusion, delusion to the viewers. That's just my opinion, but it would not surprise me if soft engineers through YouTube and Google, Meta, are devising that right now. Yeah, that's very true. All planets leave a gift. Whether or not in our natal charts, our transits, I feel quite blessed to have the certain gifts that are inherent within me, and I with my Neptune influence. I was born with Neptune in Sagittarius, and my natal Neptune is making a trine to my natal Venus in my natal midheaven. So I think with Neptune trine midheaven in my astrological chart, that's one of the reasons why I became a social media influencer. Because the midheaven represents career, your personal reputation. And funny thing too is that my natal Saturn is in conjunction with my midheaven as well as my natal Venus. I was born with Saturn in Leo and Venus in Leo, and Saturn and Venus are conjunct with one another in addition to the midheaven. So yeah, that's probably the reason why I'm now a social media influencer. But anyways, the point is that Neptune, in Aries will be a new period of individuality for asserting oneself. And another aspect I want to share with you, to discuss with you, and this will be exceedingly rare. So rare that it's going to fill me with so much excitement that it's literally going to bring shock and awe and goosebumps within me, because it is that prolific and exceedingly rare. And as astrologers know, Saturn is about to enter the sign of Aries as well, starting in May. And Saturn is the planet of fixed structure, of authority, of concrete rules, sobriety, you know, uh, law enforcement, rules and regulations. While Neptune is idealistic and dreamy. Saturn and Neptune definitely conflict with one another. And this is not the idealistic place for Saturn to be in either. But I think with Neptune in Aries, in addition to Saturn, it will bring some sense of reality for everybody. So we're not too idealistic about noble crusades, um, you know, fighting for what is right. We'll do it with some degree of sobriety, and and the climax of this will be the conjunction that every astrologer is talking about and eagerly anticipating. That is Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees of Aries in February of 2026. 0 degrees of Aries, right at the very beginning of the zodiac. I mean, how exceedingly rare is that? I was doing a research a couple of days ago about this upcoming conjunction, and the only other time that occurred in recorded history was just before the year 4600 BC. You know, around the time when writing was invented, along with calendars. So with back then, writing and the invention of writing changed human civilization as we knew it. Now, with this going to happen again next year, just think of how much of a reset this will pose for humanity. Oh, goodness. Traditions, institutions, as we know it, our very way of life will just turn upside down. That's the best way I can say it. I mean, Aries is a sign of new beginnings. And yeah, I think I'm personally, I consider this to be the great awakening of humanity. With the advancements of technology, you know, we're much more interconnected as a collective whole, more so than ever before. I know we have a lot of things to work out, a lot of problems that need to be resolved, such as the climate change, cultural differences. But I think artificial intelligence and technology will definitely resolve some of those key differences that humanity faces with respect to individual cultures. Like, I mean, within artificial intelligence, you can now detect what somebody in a foreign language is speaking to you just by holding up your smartphone. Yeah, and I think pretty soon you'll be able to have a fluent conversation with somebody who does not know your native language, but artificial intelligence will translate what they're saying back to you. You're six. Yes, I'm a Scorpio rising. That's right. I'm a very intense individual. That's in my Western chart, but in my Vedic chart, I'm a Libra rising. particularly the nakshatra of Swati. Um, yeah, it's great that you pointed that out. So, does transit affect me? I think I'm engaging more in the entrepreneurial spirit by with this with my own YouTube channel. Excuse me, and I'm in my late 40s now, so I'm just a common blue collar worker as well in everyday life. I think I need to assert myself more. That's right. My eyes are screaming Scorpio rising. Yeah. But I need to assert myself more independently. You know, I consider myself a lone wolf. I'm pretty independent already, but yeah, I think these economic times will be challenging for everybody around the world with all these tariffs being imposed by the Trump administration and counter tariffs being imposed by the federal Canadian government. And as I speak, there is a federal election taking place here in Canada. I think Mark Carney and the federal Liberals are more than likely going to win. We shall see. I've read articles very recently. The Neptune and Aries transit could benefit, or it could bring harm to Canada with respect that it could either continue to have frosty relations with the United States for quite some time, or it could potentially become a military super fortress, as I read in the article. Greater economic barriers between Canada and the US could dissolve, becoming some sort of super state. But, I am skeptical about it. We'll see. Yeah, Neptune is a planet of healing. I think, Neptune is in Aries. It will dissolve some of the doubts that we have, and bring much more confidence and bravery to the individual. Bring positive change to this world, and a new sense of freedom, and yeah, new opportunities for employment now that AI is coming onto the scene. I think we'll definitely start to notice massive job losses while Neptune is in Aries. Like traditional jobs, as we know them right now in factories, grocery stores. We'll continue to see the decline of shopping malls. Online shopping is gaining more traction, and more. I watch these YouTube videos where, thank you, have a great day. Thank you for joining me. And we'll have more of these shopping malls in North America close, along with more and more department stores. It's just it just so happens that I speak right now in Canada. The chain Hudson's Bay, or otherwise known as the Bay, is closing its doors, and I made a shopping vlog about that last week. Hudson's Hudson's Bay was incorporated back all the way back in the year 1670. So it's been in business for 355 years. And now, this day and age, it's come to this. It's come to the verge of bankruptcy. Although there are still 6 stores that are in operation, they have been saved. They are concentrated in Toronto and Montreal. But who knows? I think it's just a matter of time before those close as well. But it would be nice for them to remain open for for future generations. But yeah, at this point, I may as well say I might have to buy a souvenir of the infamous, well, the iconic bay stripes. Well, I still can before the chain closes permanently. So yeah, it's a very powerful time that we're living in right now. We're coming out of an era of confusion and delusion and one of bravado, machoism, strength, ideals about war, imperialism. So yeah, does anybody here in the audience have any thoughts or concerns or anything you would like to share? I'll give you a minute or two to gather your thoughts and express them. Yeah. So I've been looking forward to this day for quite a while now. And a couple of years ago, I made my own synopsis about Neptune in Aries in a separate video. You're welcome to check it out on my channel. I give the breakdown. And I'd also like to share with you events that occurred while Neptune was in Aries throughout the second millennium that hardly any of the other YouTube astrologer has mentioned. Okay, so here we go. I got my other cell phone here. From the years 1042 to 1057, Neptune was in Aries during that period. And from what I was able to research, Christianity splits into 2 distinct religions, Roman Catholicism and Eastern Orthodox. I was originally baptized a Roman Catholic myself, but I've steered away from traditional mainstream religion and embraced this more cosmic spirituality that became more and more prevalent while Neptune was in Pisces. And from the years 1206 to 1220, another time while Neptune was in Aries, the Holy Crusades occur. The Magna Carta was signed into law in the year 1215. So for those familiar with medieval history, the Magna Carta was a document signed in English Parliament which prevented the ruling king from abusing his power. So the king had to honor and respect the laws that were passed by English Parliament. And as well, in the year 1206, Genghis Khan founded the Mongol Empire. And from there, the Mongol Empire expanded throughout the Eastern Hemisphere. And from the years 1370 to 1384, the Peasants' Revolt occurs in England, where serfs demanded an end to serfdom. And in 1533 to 1548, various translations of the Bible are printed. National churches begin to form. Yeah, I think that's around the same time the printing press was invented. Yeah, I know. I read that the printing press was invented while Uranus was in Gemini. It's quite symbolic because Gemini symbolizes thought and communication, and Uranus is the planet of technology and innovation. So it comes as no coincidence that the printing press was invented during that time. And between the years 1697 and 1712, England and Scotland unite to form the United Kingdom of Great Britain. The Kingdom of Prussia is founded, and the Chinese complete the conquest of Mongolia. Yeah, so England and Scotland, they united to form the United Kingdom, and from there they expanded their empire, which eventually included the Commonwealth nations of Canada, Australia, New Zealand, much of Africa, even the 13 colonies of the United States, although, as we all know, the 13 colonies revolted against the British king, King George III. So anyway, and of course, the most recent Neptune and Aries transit between 1861 and 1875, where we had both the American Civil War and the Franco-Prussian War. So yeah. Okay, so anyway, I think I'm starting to lose a little bit of a momentum here. All the astrologers believe Neptune rules plastic, but I think Uranus does. Oh, that's a very interesting question. Plastic definitely contains chemicals, and Neptune does rule chemicals and drugs and toxic substances, while Uranus rules technological innovation. Could be a combination of both, but I personally, I think it's more of a Neptunian thing because of the chemical content within plastic. But yeah, I'm no scientist, but I think we could all agree that there are certain chemical properties worth noticing. Oh, coin for $4.99. Thank you. Thank you. That's the first donation I've ever received from a viewer. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow. Thank you for your support. You're the very first person who I've ever received a monetary donation from. Wow. I bless you out of the kindness of my heart. My heart goes out to you. Peace, great prosperity upon you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel like that. And yeah, so to everybody else, to anybody who doesn't see, who isn't into, yes, Canada's a great country. Yeah, I'm proud to live here. So I think for anybody who is not into astrology, this is just another day for them going about their business. But for those of us who are into astrology, this is a historic day. This is a monumental day to reflect upon. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. And it's not every day when we get to witness it's not every day where we get to witness a transition of one of the outer planets from one zodiac sign to another. And fairly recently, relatively speaking, we saw the complete transition of Pluto in Capricorn to Pluto in Aquarius back in November. And yeah, these are going to be very, very revolutionary times. The common man and woman will find their voice in the world and speak up and rise up against outdated traditional structures. And I think with Uranus and Gemini coming into the fore in July, that will be especially prevalent in the United States. And it's astonishing how American history is influenced greatly with Uranus and Gemini transits, because in every Uranus and Gemini transit throughout American history, there's been a major conflict. During the American Revolution, Uranus was in Gemini, and the Civil War, Uranus was in Gemini during that period of time as well. And during World War II, the United States as a whole, as a collective, came together to fight against evil and tyranny. And I think in this time around, when Uranus enters Gemini in 2025, with a brief retrograde later on in the year back into Taurus, will rise up against what the Americans will rise up against what is really repressing them, what is repressing their constitutional rights and civil liberties. And there'll be I anticipate great schism between blue states and red states. I would like to see my American brothers and sisters united in peace and harmony, of course, but these are very unprecedented times in human history. It could be possible that certain states gain more autonomy from Washington, D.C., from Congress, and from the White House. Or some states could break off entirely into their own sovereign nations. I wouldn't want that to happen, but it seems like it's going that route, unfortunately. Yeah, but I do have reason to be optimistic, especially with those positive aspects of Uranus sextile Neptune, Neptune sextile Pluto, Pluto trine Uranus, and they're all, one notable thing too is Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, and as well as Saturn. Pretty soon, all four of those planets will be in masculine signs. So we're moving out of a more feminine phase from water signs, earth signs, into fire and air, which are masculine. So these will not be passive times, to say the least. So anyways, those are my thoughts. And I've just almost been an hour since I've been speaking, but I think I kind of want to wrap this up. The future is uncertain, but it can in my opinion, it can be made more clear through understanding astrology. And I have complete faith that humanity will evolve, because in order to evolve into something much greater, there has to be a certain cataclysmic event before we can blossom into something much greater. So those are my words. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Yeah, good day to you all. Peace, much love, namaste. God bless you. Be safe and be kind to one another wherever you are in the world. Uh, Sending you lots of love and a healing light. And we will definitely evolve. Don't worry about that. Don't get so caught up on all these stories of doom and gloom and apocalypse. Humanity will come to his senses and improve life for the better. And we'll take better care of our environment, and we'll find better ways to evolve as a collective. And yeah, those are my words. Alrighty, so yep, have a good day. Take care, and yeah, I'll see you again real soon. Love and light, peace, much love, namaste. Thank you so much, and thank you. Bye.